you know what it feels like? Apostle, me, I fast 40 days. I felt nothing. I lost my waist. My waist reduced from 30 to 27. I mean 3 inches. It's not small. I can't tuck in. I have to try and wear batakali all the time, because if I tuck in, or the sisters don't know what we are talking about, but the brothers know. When you tuck in and the trouser is big and there's allowance and you try to balance, it's not balance. I balance, it can't balance. They say compulsory, everybody must tuck in, but it's not balancing. I made new holes on my bed, but it's still not balanced. We say 3 inches, and I added 13 more days, 53 days, and it felt like I can't feel anything. I can't even feel any anointing. Many years the Lord will have me know that sometimes when you are one of His favorites, it seems like He pulls you aside, because as for you, whatever He will do has been determined. It's recorded in the annals of heaven that one day you shall enter Jerusalem. You won't walk, you will ride on a donkey. What were we talking about? Lazarus. Let's go back. So, my brother, now he's going. How many know that you tell closest friend your schedule very well? When you are traveling to America, there are people who, I'm going to America, but as to when, your flight schedule, when you will come, only close people know. And please don't go and stand everywhere and be telling everybody details. Find people that you know, they have no jealousy, they have no envy against you, and tell them the best thing of your life. Because the only person you cannot change is a jealous person. God couldn't change Satan, so He demoted him. Anybody jealous in your life, may God remove them from your life. Oh God, how I feel like telling somebody, anybody who doesn't want to see you eat fried rice and every day eat may God remove them from your life. With everything we have been through, there are some people who still wish we don't see the best part of life, but the devil is a liar. If you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. I declare, you shall taste of the goodness of God. You shall eat the good of the land. You shall see God's miracles in your life. Because the problem with many people is that they cannot discern when people are envious and jealous of them. Sometimes they even come to church and they act like they are friends. Why are you announcing deep prayer topics to people who are envious of you? You think they are praying? He said, if 2 of 2 shall agree, and the 2 they are not in agreement. That is why many of you must master talking in tongues, because the dimension of prayer God is taking to you, you must have the body of what you want to pray for, but express in tongues, so that you will confuse them in the family house, you confuse them in the office, you confuse them in the trotro. What is it? If there was something that are going higher, some of you, I declare a strong prophetic intercessory anointing to call things to be that will happen 20 years to come. I declare that you will pray for your grandchildren, you will pray for your children, you will declare things over your children. Because the things I saw long before I even thought of marriage, I start interceding for my children. I start interceding, because, but I'm way ahead. So ranana mahanda, ikalabahanda bahayanda, that I won't stay in this house, that I will build my house, that I won't stay in this house. You should thank some enemies in your life this Easter and tell them you have to do what you did for me to pray the way I pray. Therefore, get some ice cream and get some chocolate. And you witchcraft, I just say thank you, because you thought you were pulling me down, but you released a higher level of prayer in my life. Bishop, you know one prayer I pray? That I will not be outside the country when any of my children will be born. So I put my children on my chest when they will be born for 3 months and speak in tongues 3 hours every day. I just love babies. Also for 3 hours. If really they finish laughing, but oh, baby powder, I love baby powder. And I put it on my chest. I can't be this. But what I thought is he saying, over your future, sickness, disease is far, to the glory of God. My children grew up as little children, never slept on hospital bed. What I'm trying to say is, look, discern when jealous people are rising around you. They want to see to it that you are just okay, but you will exceed their expectation. So back to Lazarus. We don't want to forget Lazarus. He's Jesus' friend. We should preach about him. He'll be happy in heaven. I'm telling you, so look, Jesus, they are even preaching me in Tema. So who do you think Jesus will give details to? Mary, Martha, Lazarus, few friends who are very intimate. Hello, I'm coming to the end of my journey. I'm entering to Jerusalem, but this will be the last ever Passover that Israel will celebrate. They have their lamb ready, but the true lamb is coming on the donkey. Oh, whatever the lamb they have brought will be irrelevant, because the lamb itself that is supposed to be slain for the sins of the world will be slain once and for all, and there will have been no need for any Passover again. How I pray one mighty work of God in your life can cancel so many dramas and so many rehearsals. How I pray that one financial release in your life would erase any form of financial drama. And I declare over somebody, there is one work of the Spirit that will become pivotal in your life, that everything will revolve around that work, because when that work is done, all other things will seem irrelevant. So they were behind him. Immediately they entered, he didn't tell them. Matthew's account said there were men before and men outside. So the Hosanna didn't start with people in Jerusalem. It started with people who were outside of Jerusalem, who have seen his mighty works and the great things he has done for them, that when he entered, they started shouting Hosanna to the Son of David with a loud voice, to the extent that everything became almost shut in Jerusalem, and they all had to come to see what was going on. You know the story, that over time they tried to quiet them down, that stop what you are doing, the noise is too much. But nobody hired anybody to do anything. They just chose. Then those in the city also started. Now, if you read the story, it wasn't those who came who brought palm branches and other things. It was those who came from the city. And they realized that it's not just the people behind and the people in front. Because life is such that sometimes you need people behind you who can shout, who can say, no matter what, we believe in him. He helped us. He made a way for us. They were shouting, they couldn't stop. And eyes are closed. Could it be that the lies of blind Bartimaeus hears of Jesus of Nazareth, that finally he enters into Jerusalem, not like he used to come, but he's coming with a convoy, he's coming on a donkey, and they all say, look, you remember what they did for you, you can't sit down, you better get up and let's go and meet him, and let's give him the praise that is due his name. How How can you tell blind Bartimaeus keep quiet when if it wasn't for him, his eyes wouldn't have seen, he wouldn't have found a job, wouldn't have found a wife? He said, look, my wife, if it wasn't for this man, I wouldn't have even noticed your beauty, I wouldn't have even seen your smile. But he opened my eyes and I saw your smile and I married you. Nobody can stop us. And I came to declare to somebody this Easter that nothing should stop you. You may be in pain, but it's done enough for us. Let's lift up the Jesus praise in Ashama. Let's lift up the Jesus praise in Tama. Let's lift up the Jesus praise in New York. Let's lift up the Jesus praise on the islands of Comoros. Let's lift and let the devil know he died for us, he set us free, he did something for us, and therefore we will give him the Hosanna that is due his name. Listen. Supposing the woman with the issue of blood hears and his friends tell her, your Jesus who healed you has entered Jerusalem in a grand style with a shout, and people are shouting at him and praising him. Won't you go and also register your shout and praise? She will take her best garments and go. How can these elders tell that woman, keep quiet? What, the noise is too much, keep quiet. But if it wasn't for him, that woman will have died. What about the man healed at the pool of Bethesda? 38 years of crippling condition, all the dreams he has of the degrees, the school he will go, the wife he will marry, everything was in his head because crippling condition has kept him at one place. But Jesus comes and lifts him, and you tell that man to keep quiet. They shouted yet the more. The Matthew account said he even enters the temple, cleans the temple, and heals the sick. And children now took over. And children began to shout to him, you are the best, you are the champion, there's nobody like you. We don't care about any Pharisee, we don't care about anything. All we know is that you are the champion. And I close with this. In part of the celebration that came to meet him, some of the objects they brought was a palm branch, which was a practice and a symbol of victory. You can only leave the palm branch when you know you have victory. But they were also giving a message. This entry into Jerusalem will not be an entry of defeat. I speak over somebody. That move into that next phase of what God called you to do will not be a move of defeat. God will help you. Your victory is guaranteed. I said, oh, you shall win, you shall win, you shall win. You will not be put to shame, you will not be disappointed. Help will come to you. Somebody, you have taken a move and others may be waiting. Yeah, if you're so the devil is a liar. This time around, I see your palm branch lifted. I say your palm branch is lifted. Your victory is lifted. Your victory is lifted. I speak over a businessman who have gone into business, and sometimes you are asking yourself, will I at this time make it? The Lord sent me to tell you, this time around, I see your palm branch. I said, I see your palm branch. Your palm branch has been displayed, and your victory is secured. So I can imagine Jesus on the donkey, and I just saying, what else had they put in? And they said, Lord, they are putting palm branches. They are also telling me a message that you will go through your passion this week, back and forth to Bethany, back and forth, and finally they will capture you and kill you, and your blood will be spilled over Golgotha's hill, and that will be the last significant Passover, because the worthy lamb is finally slain, and the blood is powerful enough that we don't have to bring any lamb again. I can imagine that day people lost their sheep. People will be blaming their children. Daddy, I also went to shout. All the sheep that people brought to Jerusalem will scatter in town. I mean, if there are Suya people in town that day, there will be a free, sheep, because the true lamp, the worthy lamp, is in Jerusalem. I declare over you, may that which is a shadow give way to the reality. May that which is a symbol give way to the reality. May a building plan turn into a building. Oh, I declare over you, may a business plan turn into a real business. May a promise be fulfilled. May an expectation come to pass. May you not live outside of what God is doing. I've seen activity. Somebody shout activity. Tell your friend something is happening. Tell him, even if your sheep is lost, forget about it. That day, my brother, people lost their sheep. There will be fight between brothers and sisters. It's your fault. It's not my fault. You are also shouting. I'm also shouting. And the journey come. We just left. You know, one other thing, they were waiting for those who didn't have the time and the burden to bring a sheep. They brought money, and that week the transaction that will go in the temple, and Jesus adia yes symbol relative about still a moody home. And you know what the Bible said? He overthrew them tables of the money changers, and he drove the sheep out, because no more sheep. The true lamb has come. Oh, he drove the sheep out of. He said, "Look, this sheep market will collapse because the true lamb." How I pray that anything dramatic that is not answering your real need, God takes it out of the way. May people who talk and they don't do, may God take them out, and may the doers come. Those who would do would come. They will not even say it, but they will say, "It is finished. I have done it." Apostle, it's so interesting to realize that finally, according to Matthew's account, then he tells them, if you will succeed in quiet these ones down, I can raise stones. But that was within the same vicinity of where Lazarus was raised from the cemetery. It wasn't implying that stone, but it was saying that all these tombstones that have been covered, I can bring them forth and they can praise me. It simply means that nobody can stop me. And with this I close. May that be your story, that nobody can stop you. They close one door, another door will open. They play with you, God will play with them. They mess with you, God will mess with them. I declare over somebody's life tonight that nothing can stop you. No stone can stop you. No system can stop you. There is a grace that is overwhelming, that nothing can stop you. Somebody lift your hands, stand on your feet, and begin to talk to him today. Rahadabahando. Tell Lord, I just thank you that you brought closure to the Passover. We are celebrating not an old Passover, but we are celebrating the last Passover, the worthy lamb that was slain on the hills of Golgotha. Somebody open your mouth and declare that I'm coming to realities. I'm coming to realities. Somebody move your prophetic.